Here are the 5 Social Security updates you need to know right now. Number 1, Social Security payments up to $5,108 are about to go out for July. I'm going to explain who is eligible for those payments. Number 2, President Trump is breaking his promise to seniors. He said he was going to relieve seniors by giving them no taxes on Social Security. The president has changed his mind. Now he is throwing in a $6,000 tax deduction for seniors. But here's the thing, a large number of seniors do not qualify for that $6,000 that's going to be included in the big, beautiful bill. I am going to talk to you about it. And there's been a lot of promises that have been made to seniors: no taxes on Social Security, stimulus checks, increase in Social Security benefit. None of them has happened in the last 3 years. If Congress really wants to help seniors, there are 5 things in front of the president and in front of Congress right now, bills that have been sitting down that have not gotten any traction. Those should be included in the big, beautiful bill. Together, they will put about $360 and up to $700 a month in every senior's pocket, including those getting disability benefits. So I'm going to explain that to you. Then I'm going to talk about Social Security solvency. The Social Security trustee, they came out this week saying that the Social Security Trust Fund is going to run out of money sooner than expected. In fact, it's within 8 years, every senior is going to get up to a 25% cut in their Social Security benefits or their Social Security check. How did we get here? And what can be done about it? There are some very powerful solutions that Congress can take right now to ensure that Social Security survives for everybody and that we don't get to this point where seniors who are already struggling are yet going to lose another 25% of their Social Security check. I'm going to explain that to you. And then finally, I got some data from research that I did from some comments that came from the previous post about rising costs that seniors are facing. So I did some research. You may be surprised how much seniors are paying for certain things that we maybe take for granted, but have gone up very high. So let's dive in. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. We create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and any personal finance issue that affects seniors and their pocketbook. If you are new here, welcome. Do me a favor, go into the comment section. Let me know your city and your state. But let's dive in. Let's start with the Social Security payment schedule and get that out of the way. So you may know that if you're on Social Security retirement benefits, survivor benefits, spousal benefits, or Social Security disability insurance, SSDI, you get your payments on a specific Wednesday based on your birthday. So if you were born between the 1st and the 10th, you get your payments on the second Wednesday. If you were born between the 11th and the 20th, you get your payment on the third Wednesday. And if you're born between the 21st and the end of the month, you get your payment on the fourth Wednesday of the month. Now, some of you get your payments on the third. I'll talk about that in a second. And then I'll talk about SSI. And is SSI benefits going to get a double check this month? You will find out. So let's talk about Social Security retirement benefits and SSDI. You're going to get your payments on July the 9th if you were born between the 1st and the 10th of the month. July the 16th if you were born between the 11th and the 20th. And July the 23rd if you were born between the 21st and the end of the month. Now, how much are you going to get? Well, the $5,108 is for those who have contributed the maximum into the system and have waited till age 70. If you are retiring this year, your full retirement year is 2025, and you've contributed the maximum, you're going to get $2,700. But the average Social Security benefit is $1,908. Now, there are some seniors that get way lower. Some get the minimum benefit, which is not a lot of money. It's actually living in poverty, and that's about $900. So it just depends on how much you've paid into the system, how long you've worked. That determines how much you get. If you are living outside the United States, your state pays for your Medicare premium. You get both Social Security and SSI, and you apply for Social Security before 1997, you get your benefits on the third of the month. And then if you are on supplemental security income, which is SSI, your benefits is going to come on the first of the month, which is a Tuesday. And because the first is not a holiday or a weekend, you are going to get your SSI benefits on time. The maximum SSI benefit is $967 for eligible individuals in 2025. There will be no double payments in July because August the 1st is also a weekday. Usually, if there is a double payment, it means the subsequent year or the following month falls on the first is going to fall on a holiday or a weekend, and so you get your benefits the prior month. But this month, everything is on time, so you should expect your benefits on time. Now, if you don't get your benefits, I'm going to tell you why. You may be in an overpayment situation. Social Security overpayment has become a big problem for about 3 million beneficiaries, both Social Security and disability, and it has to do with you violating a Social Security rule about reporting your income about work that you've been doing while on Social Security or disability benefits. And it has taken the Social Security Administration a little bit of time to catch up. And now they finally caught up and now they want their money back. Even if they made the mistake, you are responsible. So if you don't get your Social Security benefits and it's been 3 business days and you still do not see it in your account, call Social Security and find out. And let me go into overpayment a little bit so that we can get this out of the way. Social Security overpayment now affects about 3 million people a year. Why? Because for Social Security retirees, if you are claiming Social Security before your full retirement age and you're working, you are supposed to obey or you're supposed to comply with the income limits, the earnings test. If you make more money above the earnings test, your Social Security benefits are supposed to be reduced. If you don't report your earnings or you don't pay attention and they don't deduct the appropriate amount from your check, this may go on for a long time and then you're going to get hit with a bill. If you're on disability benefits, it's probably because you went over the substantial gainful activity limit. It means that you were in the trial to work program, you did not report your earnings, or they did not catch up to your earnings until now. Either way, you're responsible for that money, and they're going to take a chunk of your check to pay back what you owe until it's all paid off. The second issue I want to talk to you about is President Trump and what I think is a disappointment to a lot of seniors who were promised the no taxes on Social Security, and now the president in the big beautiful bill has changed his mind, and now they're going to do a $6,000 tax credit. It was $4,000 that was promised by the House of Representatives, and now they're doing a $6,000 credit in the Senate version of the bill. Now, that may sound very good until you dig into the details and realize that 40% of seniors are not going to be eligible for this because they don't make enough money to pay taxes on their income. And so, even if you make $2,000 in Social Security benefits a month, and your partner, you're a couple, your household makes $4,000 in Social Security a month, that's $48,000 a year. You still don't qualify for a lot of this deduction because at $48,000 a year, you only get $500 in a break. The amount of money you get, you don't get the $6,000 in tax break. You only get $500. And many seniors do not get $2,000 in Social Security benefits. So you can see how the bar has been set so high. Actually, the eligibility is set at $75,000 in income for a single person and $150,000 for a couple to get the full benefit of the $6,000 credit. So again, seniors are being left behind again with something that was promised them before the election. And I think people voted for the president thinking that they were going to get that relief. And now 40% of seniors are being left behind because they don't qualify or make enough money in Social Security benefits to qualify. So if the president and Congress really wants to do something to help seniors, here are 5 ideas, 5 solid ideas that they can put into the big, beautiful bill to help seniors. The first one is the $200 a month increase in Social Security that has been promised for a couple of years now. This was the Social Security Expansion Act. Bernie Sanders has been pushing this for a long time, and it is totally paid for. They're going to pay for it through the Social Security earnings cap by increasing it from $176,000 to $250,000, which means that anybody making up to $250,000 a year pays Social Security taxes. Currently, if you make up to $176,100, you pay Social Security taxes, and anything above that, you don't pay Social Security taxes on that. If you make $1 million, you only pay Social Security taxes on $176,100. Bernie Sanders want to increase that to $250, and in exchange, give seniors a $200 Social Security increase across the board, including disability beneficiaries. Now, you may think $200 is not a lot of money, but your Social Security cost of living adjustment was only $50 this year. So that will be quadruple the earnings increase that you've gotten this year. The second idea, which I think is probably one of the best, is to increase the minimum Social Security benefit. Some seniors are getting $900 in Social Security a month. They've paid into the system, worked the entire 35 years that was required, but they worked in low-wage jobs. And so they ended up with a tiny amount of Social Security benefit, $900. The idea is to increase it to $1,600 because that will be 125% of the federal poverty level. And that will put a lot of seniors out of poverty, like get them out of poverty by making this change and making sure that no senior that has worked and paid into Social Security their entire life receives benefits and still have to live in poverty, according to the standard that the government itself has set up in terms of what they consider as poverty. Number three is to put cost of living adjustment at a minimum of 3%. Why is this important? Well, this year it was 2.5. In some years it's 0%. This bill, which is called the Social Security COLA Act, would move the COLA to a minimum of 3%. That will put $30 extra a month in your pocket. So the Social Security Expansion Act will put minimum $200 in your pocket. Increasing the minimum Social Security benefit will give seniors between $200 to $600 in increases a month. Increasing the COLA to 3% minimum will give you another $30. The fourth idea is to increase SNAP benefits. Minimum, the minimum SNAP benefits, food stamps, is $23. That's why a lot of seniors do not apply for food stamps, because they are frustrated that they're not going to get enough money that will make the whole effort in applying worth it. Well, this would increase the minimum SNAP benefits to $75. This bill was first introduced in 2023, and it would help make seniors get at least a decent, reasonable, respectable minimum SNAP benefit. $75, that is at least enough for one grocery shopping to help seniors in this most critical area. And by doing that, seniors will get an extra $52 versus the $23 that they are getting a month. And then the fifth idea is to quadruple the Older Americans Act funding. The Older Americans Act is a legislation that was passed way back in the day that is supposed to help seniors in multiple areas, including Meals on Wheels, address senior hunger crisis. 5 million seniors go hungry every day, and combat senior isolation. All these programs are funded through the federal government, which helps seniors with meal delivery, transportation, support services. By quadrupling the amount of money that Congress is budgeting for the Older Americans Act funding, it will put between $100 to $200 in seniors' pocket every month. So I'm giving you real numbers. These are real things that the Congress knows about. It's been in front of them, but they don't want to do it. And then they put gimmicks like $6,000 in tax deductible in front of seniors when they know that low-income seniors do not qualify because they don't make enough money to pay taxes on their Social Security or their combined income. Now, let's talk about Social Security solvency. The Social Security trustee just came out this week with a report that Social Security is going to go bankrupt earlier than they thought. Now, when I mean bankrupt, it's a term that means something specific. Basically, the Social Security Trust Fund is going to run out of money. The trust fund is the Social Security Rainy Day Fund. That's where all the excess surplus benefits that were collected over the years and decades were put there for a rainy day. That rainy day has come. It's been around for a while because more people are collecting Social Security than are paying into the system. And so we've been dipping into the rainy day fund by $200 billion a month. Well, it's going to run out, and it's supposed to run out by 2033, where only the money that is being paid in payroll taxes will be able to pay for benefits for people who are retiring or are on retirement and are claiming benefits. One thing I want to say is that that is how the system was designed. Social Security is designed as a pay-as-you-go system. People who are working now paying into the system support people who have retired and are claiming benefits. But when there is a mismatch where less people are paying into the system than are collecting, the trust fund is supposed to supplement that. Well, that's going to run out of money unless Congress does something to fix that solution. So what can they do? There are many things they can do. 5 things actually. 3 of them to bring in more money, 2 of them to slow down how much money is coming out. So I'm going to walk you through that very quickly. The first one is to increase the payroll tax rate. Currently, Social Security is financed through a 12.4% tax that is paid equally between employees and employers. 6.2%, 6.2% for a combined 12.4. The idea is to increase it by 2% to 14.4% over 6 years. That will fix the Social Security problem for 75 years. Idea number 2, to keep Social Security solvent, is to remove the income cap completely. Remember I talked about that when I was talking about the $200 increase? Well, it is absurd that only $176,100 is eligible for Social Security taxes. People are making way more than that, and they don't get to pay Social Security taxes on that income. Well, the idea is to remove the cap completely. Doing that alone will solve all the problems we're facing with Social Security right now for another 75 years. But if there's no political courage to do that, to do the first 2 things that are obvious, then the third thing is to get more people paying Social Security taxes. And rather, the birth rate has fallen dramatically in America, and there is nothing that can be done about that to impact Social Security anytime soon. It may take a generation or 2 before any effort to increase the birth rate is going to help. So skilled immigration is the other solution. Bring skilled people here, skills that America needs, high-level skills, and let them pay into the system and support the Social Security system. Those are the 3 ways you can bring in more money into the trust fund or into the Social Security system. If you want to slow down, if we don't have political courage to do all these 3 things, then if you want to slow down how much money is going out of the system, there's 2 things you can do, or maybe 3. The first one is to give seniors basically means test Social Security. So the high income seniors get lower benefits, low income seniors get slightly higher, but it slows down how much money is coming out of the system because the higher income earners get lower benefits. It's not based on how much you've paid into the system, it's based on your income level. Second idea to slow down how much money is coming out of the system is to slow down your cost of living adjustment. I know you're not going to like that, but that is another option because the cost of living adjustment comes from the Social Security pot. Even though it's tiny, it still comes from the pot. So if you want to slow down how much money is coming out of the pot, you slow that down by slowing down how much increase seniors are getting. And then idea number 3 is to increase the full retirement age. Your Social Security full retirement age is when you get your full benefits. It may be 66 years and change depending on where you were born. If you were born after 1960, it's 67. They want to increase it to 69. Why? 2 reasons. Number 1, more people are collecting Social Security than ever. The baby boomer generation, 79 million people, are now retiring at 10,000 a day. And that pace is going to continue through 2030. And so there's a lot of stress on the Social Security system. And so if you increase the full retirement age, then you make it You make it longer. You drag it out on when people can get their full benefits. The other reason is the low birth rate that I talked about. Less people are paying into the social security system than ever. It used to be that 5.1 people paid to support one retiree. That number is now 2.7. And by 2030, it's going to be 2.1. It means that 2.1 workers are supporting each retiree when it was 5.1 in the 60s. So that's where the gap is coming out of. And so if you want to slow down how much money is coming out of the system, you have to increase the full retirement age as a strategy. I'm not saying you have to do that, but it's one of the options that are available to you if you want to go down that route. If you don't want to bring in more money, then you have to slow down how much money is coming out. Or you do a little bit of both. You tell me what you think is more feasible. I've given you 5 ideas to increase the Social Security tax rate, to eliminate the cap completely so that everybody pays taxes on their Social Security income, or everybody pays Social Security taxes on their income. And then the third way is to bring skilled immigrants for skills that the United States needs so that they can support the Social Security system. Number 4, if you don't want to do that and don't have the political courage to bring in more money, then you have to slow down how much money is going out. You have to means test Social Security. You can slow down the cost of living adjustment, or you can increase the full retirement age. Those are 6 ideas actually. So let me know what you think. And then finally, guys, seniors are seeing some rising costs that are crazy. And I want to share a few of them with you because I've been hearing a lot of you in the comments section, and I did some research. And some of the things I've seen are really shocking. For example, did you know that utilities have gone up by 10% since 2023? Homeowners insurance has gone up by up to 20%. Prescription drug out-of-pocket costs has gone up to 10%. Personal care and household supplies for seniors have gone up between 5 to 8%. Elder care up to 10%. And your cost of living adjustment is 2.5%, but Medicare prescription or Medicare premiums has gone up by 6.6%. The average senior spends about $5,700 on groceries a year, and rent has gone up by almost 4% to $2,099. So let me know, what is your biggest cost increase that you've experienced in the comment section below, because I want to hear, I know costs have gone up, but I didn't realize how much it has gone up for seniors, especially things that seniors care about. So hit me in the comments and let me know. And finally, as always, I want to talk about Medicare because I want to connect you with our partner, Chapter Medicare. Their number is on the screen, 539-205-2147. Why is it important to talk to Chapter? Well, they are there to be your advocate and help you get into a better Medicare plan. So if you are turning 65 and you're confused about Medicare, or you're currently in a Medicare plan and you don't know that you could do better, well, yes, you can be in a much, much better program and pay $1,100 less a year. So what can Chapter do for you that other companies cannot do? Well, number one, they're the only company that has access to all 24,000 Medicare plans. Yes, there are 24,000 Medicare plans out there, and they're the only advisory company with access to all of them. So when you call them, they can see what is available in your local area, show you what doctor networks are in your plan, what hospitals are in your plan, prescription drugs are covered, what the copays are, and then help you compare that plan to traditional Medicare and make an important decision for yourself. But you have to call now. There may be a very small window to do this. So go into the description to this video. There is a form you can fill out, and they'll reach out to you tomorrow or today and help you get you into the better Medicare plan. Remember, 90% of all seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan for this reason. It's a lot, and I get it. But Chapter are there to be in your corner and help you navigate this. Give them a call today or fill out the form, and they'll reach out to you. So until I see you tomorrow, thank you for watching.